Okay, Chapter 5. What's the actual process to get a pay rise? Now, you need to understand this because different organisations have different rules and regulations in regards to when you can or cannot and ask for a pay rise and what's actually reviewed at it. So I wanted to walk you through these so that you can get prepared. It is fair to assume that you can ask for an annual review, right? Pay rises are often awarded during specific times of either the calendar or the financial year, but the process will vary by company to company. In my companies, everyone gets their pay reviewed in July, following June 30, where we can see the results of the company for the year and we can see the results of the individual's personal effort. So you need to find out when this happens, because there might be a specific time that you get to ask for a pay rise. The next thing that you can take into account on the process of getting to ask a pay rise is the length of your service. Sometimes your salary package will get reviewed according to the length of time an employee has been with the company. Now, that might be annually, it might be every 3 years, it might be every 18 months. But if the company doesn't do everyone at a fixed date, like I do in July, you should find out whether, hey, I've been here 12 months, maybe it's time for me to ask because my length of service has been that long. That's up for you to find out. You may find that the Human Resources Department has a policy on this, and you might have an employee handbook or some sort of guideline, even found in your letter of offer, what their package review policy is. Now, if you do find that this will be reviewed on an annual basis, find out what the process is, by whom, when, and what sort of information needs to be taken into account to do it. You'll also find that if you're going to have a salary review, you're going to have a performance review with it. So does your company require that you do an annual performance review before you ask for a pay rise? That's really important. I've heard of organisations where the employees have turned around and said, I've done this great job and I'd like to ask for a pay rise, and they say, well, the performance reviews aren't being done till the end of the year, so you can't ask for a pay rise until you've had your performance review. Find out. Get your ducks in a row. Here's another one. You can ask for a position review. Now, this is a little bit different to a pay review, but it's incorporated in it. You may have started with that organisation at one level, doing one job, and then over the year, taken on further responsibilities that has moved you up to a different sort of position with different responsibilities. You can ask the question, do salaries actually change when that happens? And I'd like to have my salary reviewed based on the position I'm now doing, not what I was doing. And the final thing that you need to find out when figuring out the process for getting a pay rise is to identify who the decision maker is. Now, human resources aren't the decision maker. Your boss may not be the decision maker. You need to find the person who will actually say, I have the authority to increase this person's salary package. If you're not talking to that person, you're probably wasting your time. Anyway, make sure that you've got this process under wraps and you know when and why and to whom and what about. You'll massively increase your chance of getting the pay rise that you want.